Multilingual evidence cards are a great way to draw attention both to scientific evidence in the classroom and multilingual ways of communicating. For students, hearing and communicating about evidence in multiple language gives them an opportunity to expand the possible ways of communicating and accessing around the content. In terms of science, using evidence and examining evidence in multiple languages shows kids that science can take place and does take place across many languages and language forms, and explicitly naming these types of evidence for students helps them in creating scientific explanations. Finally, when we use multiple languages in science, it norms multilingual ways of communicating for students and counters the dominant narrative that education only takes place in English. The video you're about to watch is of a third grade classroom, which is studying the phenomena, why does a wolf look different from the rest of the pack? In this video, a teacher whose home language is not Spanish is using multilingual evidence cards in English and in Spanish to elevate the types of evidence that they've studied in previous lessons in this lessons and how these pieces of evidence are going to help them write an explanation in the future.
We looked at humans last week, and we looked at the different variations in humans. Remember when we made our graphs and we put our Post-its on them?
Oh yeah!
The other day we did some research in books, and we talked about how we were finding facts from a text or ideas de un libro, and we talked about how we saw different organisms, and then we saw the variations that those different organisms had. Today, we did an experimentos, and we did this using the computers. So with the cats, when we were making different cats, that's an experiment. For each of these, we are finding more evidence that's helping us figure out about variations in species. So we've seen evidence that's showing us that humans can have variation. We've seen evidence showing cats,
Someone's there.
other organisms, which leads us to understand this. Simon, will you please read this for us?
Organisms in a species have many similar traits.
Los organisms?
There can be variation.
Organisms?
Okay, so we've done several experiments now, and we've looked at several books that have told us exactly this, that organisms in a species can have similar traits, and that there's also variation
like
in
enchiladas is similar. Is similar.
differences, right? So we're adding this to our key concepts. And next time, we're going to use all of the information that we've been learning, and we're going to look at the different evidence that we've been gathering, and we're going to create a scientific explanation for this first question here. Why are the wolves different even though they are all the same species? So we're going to start to think about how we can answer that question.